Hey girls, I'm Nicole
And I'm Kelly.
and we're aMAMAnous.
aMAMAnous.
Cheers.
Cheers. Got it that time.
Yeah.
You know?
Second takes.
Yeah, exactly.
All right.
Wow, your phone's locking extra fast today.
Ugh. Sorry, we're having technical difficulties.
Hardly. Hardly.
So, Kelly, what's on the chopping block today? What's today's episode about?
So trick or trauma.
I can't wait for this one.
Yeah, it's good. I put up, bonus points for if it was Halloween related. So we got a few of those. Do you have any
I can't
traumatic
well,
Halloweens that you can remember?
all of them.
All of them.
Okay, it's my childhood.
Mm-hmm.
My mom is anti-Halloween. Like she's just one of those people hates the evil tone to it.
Okay.
So forever growing, or my whole childhood, I was never allowed to be anything scary. I was a princess, like every year.
Yeah.
Or if I were like a witch, it'd be a cute witch. Like she'd be pretty, like couldn't be a scary, spooky one.
I mean, I feel like as girls growing up, you don't usually pick anything too scary anyways.
No, but even my brothers, they went as a milkshake and French fries one year, like McDonald's milkshake and French fries, because it was like I think they also went as like a baseball player every year, like whatever sport they were playing, because my mom was nothing evil,
Mm,
So
yeah.
I've never been super into Halloween.
Okay. All right. That actually brings some light as to how Turner decided when he was like 2.5 that he wanted to be a cheeseburger.
My mom
It's
was
all making
probably
sense now.
whispering in his ear.
Well, Dad was a milkshake one year, so
But I think that's honestly why I don't like dressing up, like for Halloween and thinking of a costume, like thinking of something.
yeah.
Actually, I have a good one. One year, I went as Flo from Progressive,
Oh, that's funny.
and my boyfriend at the time went as Jake from State
Wait,
Farm.
I think I was around for that one.
Possibly, but I was like, I was really proud of those costumes because I thought this is so freaking clever.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, that's really funny.
That's the only time I like to dress up is if I'm like really, really into it. I went as like
Yeah.
we went as Cheech and Chong. I don't know which one I was. I just know I was one of them, and that was pretty fun.
Yeah, that was
and it was
really
very
funny too.
comfortable because I was in like Dickies pants and a tank top.
Yeah.
It's not like I was in scantily clad lingerie and heels.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you think like Halloween is like just an excuse for girls to dress like
Slutty.
slurs? Yeah.
Yes. Growing up, I was totally that girl. Like
Do you remember that
going
one
to
year
a
you were
party.
Beetlejuice? You were like sexy Beetlejuice.
Oh, that was cute.
It was cute.
It wasn't that sexy.
Yeah, it was. It was like a crop
It was
or
like a crop
something.
top. Okay, I wear crop tops every day. There was pants.
Yeah.
And I did my makeup like gross looking. Kinda.
I mean, he's Beetlejuice, so yeah.
I do. I forgot about that.
That same party, I was from Saw. What is that? The Jigsaw. Do you remember
Oh,
that?
yes. That was good too.
Okay, so maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I did have some good ones in there. But see, all in my adult life.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I don't even know. One year I dressed up as my brother, like just in his clothing. I was a teenager and I dressed up like just in his clothes, put my hair up in a hat.
You looked like Fred Durst, didn't you?
No, I look just like him. Yeah, no, that was a good one. I don't know. But like traumatic. Okay, so growing up, my dad always went all out for Halloween. We have like in front of my parents' house two like bigger yards that are like surrounded by like a wall. That's probably like mid height walking by it on the sidewalk. So he would set it up and he had like friends in the movie industry that would like bring stuff and everything. He would dress the whole thing up like a graveyard. They would take like him and his two friends would take the day off of work, sometimes the day before off of work to like prep. He would like cancel our gardener coming for like weeks so that the grass was overgrown. He'd get fog machines. They did like strobe lights and then like everything, the whole nine, music that like went with like I don't know. See, I'm really bad at storytelling. Thunder and lightning,
Oh, yeah, like that
you know?
spooky kind of.
Yes. So I was his daughter, so I personally was not traumatized by this, but kids would come and he would dress up. Some years he had like a dummy in this like electric chair, and then some years he'd dress as the dummy. So kids would thought that they were going up and like grabbing candy out of like this fake person's lap, and then he would like go like and like scare them. I just remember so many kids crying. Like kids were traumatized every year. Every year. People would drive from around town to come and like see the house.
The spooky house.
Yes. Yes. He like thrived. That was his moment to shine.
Yeah.
It's
That's
really funny.
cool.
It was really cool. It was cool. For a few years, he had a car that kind of looked like a hearse. So he would back it up and he had like a fake
Body or something in
yeah,
it.
a fake body. And yeah, it was crazy.
Well, I saw
So much
your
crazy.
neighbors are setting up like a haunted house.
Oh, yeah.
Kelly's neighborhood like goes all out. I
Mm-hmm.
remember during COVID when we went trick or treating, the whole neighborhood had like
The little
the
ramps or the.
ramps to like send candy down the side of their houses. There's like lots of spooky stuff.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah, it
fun.
is fun. We just trick or treat in our neighborhood every year.
Yeah.
Flat, easy, but also, yeah, the neighbors are
Lots of
great.
houses.
Yeah. So today's episode, we're actually going to start off with a spooky story. Not a spooky story, but it's a murder story having to do
Ooh.
with trick or treating.
Oh man.
No kids are involved, so
Okay.
don't worry.
Yeah.
Okay.
So no
'Cause-
trigger warning.
yeah. Just normal murder, you know?
It's your everyday vanilla murder.
Okay. Are we ready to get the story rolling?
I feel like I should have a blankie or
I
something.
know.
Should got the spooky music.
Ooh,
The spog.
yeah, exactly.
Man, we really messed up. We did. Okay. All right, I'm ready.
Okay. The night was cold and still on October 31st of 1957. In the quiet San Fernando Valley, the streets were dark except for the occasional jack-o'-lantern flicker. Inside their home, Peter and Betty Fabiano had already turned in for the night, their porch light off, assuming no more trick-or-treaters would come. But around 11 p.m., the doorbell rang. Peter rose from bed, pulled on his robe, and went to the door carrying what he believed was a bowl of candy. Betty upstairs heard him ask, "Isn't it a little late for this?" The reply came firm and low with a weary smile. "No." Moments later, a single gunshot. Peter crumbled to the floor inside the hallway, clutching his chest. Blood seeped through his robe. He was rushed to the hospital, but died swiftly of the chest wound.
Ooh.
Dun, dun, dun. In the shocked aftermath, police scored every lead. There was little at the scene, no theft, no forced entry, no apparent motive, but a few curious clues surfaced. A car seen speeding away and an odd discrepancies in stories. One person became a person of interest, Joanne Rabel, a photographer and acquaintance of the Fabianos. She had worked in Peter's salon and was close friends with Betty. Over time, their relationship had grown complicated and tense. Some accounts say Joanne harbored deep romantic feelings for Betty and resented Peter as an obstacle.
She liked her.
Yeah,
Oh, step aside.
and this is the 50s, remind you.
Yeah. It's very taboo.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Joanne denied involvement. She claimed to have been home that evening, but investigators discovered she had borrowed a car that night, and the odometer reading didn't match her explanations. I guess that's what they had to do back in the 50s.
I feel like they probably still do that now, but all cars have, well,
Feel like you
new
could like
cars have like
reprogram
those
them.
GPS in them where it shows everywhere you've been, where you've pinged.
Oh, that's true. The cars do?
Mhm.
I didn't know cars had that.
Careful, Kelly.
Ooh, I guess I can't get away with perfect murder. Had no idea. Okay, let's see. Then came a shocking confession. Goldie Kaiser, a friend of Joanne, admitted she was the shooter. She revealed that Joanne had convinced her that Peter was a cruel, evil man who abused Betty and that she should kill him to protect Joanne and Betty. She claimed she had no personal motive beyond loyalty and affection for Joanne. Oh my God, Joanne had multiple women
Man,
lovers.
I wanna know what her secret sauce was.
Seriously. Okay, to be honest, I kind of just pulled the story and then I went
So
into
Kelly's hearing it
it.
for the first time too.
Their plan, they said, was to use the guise of Halloween. Joanne and Goldie discussed different murder methods, ultimately opting for a gun. They chose Halloween because Pizer could disguise herself among trick or treaters without arousing suspicion. On the night itself, Joanne remained in the car while Goldie donned a mask, men's clothing, and makeup, rang the doorbell, and when Peter opened the door, she shot him in the chest. Interesting. Afterward, oh,
But
that's fun.
how did they not know that the woman
Hmm,
wasn't gonna be the one answering the door?
maybe she was in on it,
Mm.
you know?
I could already tell you where they're going wrong with this, how they got caught.
Well, we'll talk about it. Afterward, Joanne kissed Pizer and quietly told her, "Forget you ever knew me," essentially discarding her accomplice once her purpose was served. Pizer later burned the murder disguise and hid the gun in a storage locker. Wow. She just straight up used her to shoot somebody. Okay. Forensic investigations tied the weapon to Pizer, and she named Joanne as the investigator. Sorry, not investigator, instigator. Duh. Both women were arrested, tried, and initially pled not guilty. Eventually, they accepted plea deals, pleading guilty to second-degree murder. They were sentenced to prison terms of 5 years to life.
5 years?
Yeah. Okay. Over the years, the two were released. Pizer died in 1998. Information about Joanne's later life is scarce. Betty lived on, remarried in some reports, and died in 1999. So I guess Betty maybe wasn't involved.
This is some lesbian love triangle from the 50s.
Crazy.
Yeah? Okay, first of all, if I were gonna do this, if I were to commit the perfect murder on Halloween, I would not wait until 11 o'clock to ring that doorbell and shoot somebody. I would have done it in the thick of trick-or-treating.
Okay, I agree. But at the same time, you don't want all these witnesses.
It's not about the witnesses, it's because it's women and women don't wanna traumatize kids.
Well, that too.
Like, okay, I'm gonna get, like, really morbid here, but they say, like, the difference between, like, when a man commits suicide and when a woman commits suicide,
Yeah.
it's like men are more often to, like, shoot themselves or something, whereas women will do it, like, in a silent way, like, they'll
Yeah.
overdose or be in the bathtub, something like that, because they don't, A, wanna have a mess for somebody to clean up,
Yep.
or B, traumatize somebody that would find them that way.
Yeah.
See, women are considerate even in death.
Exactly. Ain't that the truth, honey? But yeah, it makes sense to wait later at night. But also, what you were saying is, yeah, who knows? It probably, like, if somebody's ringing my doorbell at 11 p.m. on Halloween, I ain't answering the door.
And when she asked him, like, "Don't you think it's a little late for this?" Do you think that was her hesitation?
No,
Like,
he asked that.
oh, and she was like, "No, it's not. Go ahead. Go
See, that
answer the
makes me feel like
door."
she's involved.
Of course she is.
Gosh, I have to dig deeper into this. For our murder podcast that we're going to
Again,
start, we got to
again,
really deep dive into these
this is our
stories.
origin story.
Yeah.
We were just trying to get people to start listening to us before we went full on murder, true crime.
Yeah. Ooh, but what a triangle. Okay, so Goldie was in love with what was
Betty?
no,
Oh.
no. Goldie's the one that did the murdering. And she was in love with Joanne, who Joanne was in love with Betty. And Betty, we're not sure.
Poor Goldie's just out there committing murders and nobody even wants her.
It's really sad.
That is really sad.
And then they just also, do you think like the punishment was less harsh because they were women back in the 50s?
Yeah, probably. Because they probably sold the whole story about how mean of a man he was.
Yeah. Did Betty testify?
I love crime shows, but like when they show the trials, that's like my
Oh,
most
yeah.
favorite part.
Yeah, that's good.
My like goal in life in retirement is to like be on the grand jury where it's like you volunteer for this position for like a year and you hear all these different types of cases. Like, is there enough here to bring charges? Is there enough to like move forward? It could be like a civil lawsuit or something like that. But I want to be somebody that
Mm.
gets to determine that kind of stuff.
Yeah, that would be interesting.
I just had jury duty and I was so upset that I didn't get called. Like, I was
At
so
all?
upset. No.
Oh.
And the Wi-Fi was out that day. It was awful.
Oh, yeah,
So
that
I
sounds pretty
literally
terrible.
sat in silence. And now it's only a half day. I'm like, I volunteer for all day. I volunteer for Tribune. I'll be here all day.
I think you
Just call
can
me
do
in.
that.
Just call me in.
You're allowed to just go
I don't think so.
to jury duty. I'm pretty
They
sure you
don't
can.
know because they don't want people that want to be there. That kind of defeats the whole
Uh,
purpose.
maybe you're right. Mm. Oh, like that. The Netflix was it Netflix documentary about the guy, the staircase.
I didn't finish. I've like heard so much about that stuff. What is it?
You
Something
didn't
Peterson.
finish it.
Yes.
It's all about like the courts and
Because I've
all that.
watched so many different, like, I've watched the Forensic Files, I've watched the Dateline, I've
And
watched
all of
like
it.
everything on it. So, like, when it came time to watch the
Have you ever heard of
documentary,
the owl theory?
yes.
Makes sense.
Yeah, she had like the feathers in her hair or something and like claw marks.
Well, the feathers were yes, that they found in her skull were just feathers that are only found in the claws of this specific owl.
You know what's crazy is you think about, like, I really do believe in the justice system, but you think about like those weird anomalies that are out there.
Yeah.
Like, okay, I was at the shooting range. I was going to call it the driving range. I was at the shooting range last week and we were, having some target practice.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm looking at all like the casings that, like, are eject well, after you shoot the gun, that's what comes out, right? The
Mm-hmm.
bullet is like the projectile. And I'm like, somebody could just pick these little casings up, plant them somewhere, and then your gun, right, is now tied to this crime
Ooh.
scene.
You would be the only person to ever think about that.
Or I think about like we're in Home Goods, right? And we're like looking at cups or something, and my fingerprints are all over this glass. And then somebody comes and carefully picks it up with some gloves, checks it out, and like leaves it somewhere.
I guess I never think about that kind
I
of
think about
stuff.
that stuff all the time. Or like my hair, I shed everywhere.
Uh-huh.
Think about how often I see like a hair and I like drop it on the ground.
Yeah.
What if that somehow ends up in like a crime scene? And that's how I'm tied to it. And they have no other like physical explainable evidence except for my DNA is there. I just
It makes sense.
I just think about how often something like that really does happen.
But I
That's
feel
my
like now there's so much forensic evidence that they can use that
what about
maybe
Anand
it's
Anand Saeed, whatever. Remember that documentary we
oh my
really got
gosh.
into?
Listen, yes, because I listened to the podcast first. That's like
The serial one?
yeah. And I was like, it was pretty one-sided, right?
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Well, then I watched the documentary and then I was like, I don't know. He could have done it.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
And now I go back and forth. I'm like, Pong.
There's a
Again.
new one on HBO that was made about now, like years after whatever
Didn't he
happened
just
recently.
get
Yeah,
released?
but so it's kind of like the build up for that. Okay, but what about
Ooh, I should watch
Making a
it.
Murderer? You never
We
finished
never
it.
finished the second
Oh, I
season.
can't even talk about it. But I will say this. I was like, he's freaking innocent. The criminal justice system
In the
has
first
just
season. After the first season.
no, I think both, one and
Mm.
two. It wasn't until was it Candace Owens? Yeah, Candace Owens came out with was it Convicting a Murderer? I think that's like what her spinoff was. And she went through all the like Netflix evidence and stuff that wasn't shown or how Netflix edited the
Yeah.
evidence.
Yeah.
And I watched that and I was like, he's guilty as fuck. He did it. He absolutely did it. And here I was losing sleep over this poor innocent man that was convicted.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, it's crazy because then don't you think about like, is it social media and like people that watch those types of documentaries that like these bigger cases, that case and Anand Syed and all those cases, like that are these things are bringing their cases to light,
Mm-hmm.
which who knows if they did it or not. But then also think about all those poor people that didn't do things, which maybe they didn't either.
Yeah.
Don't get the time of day.
No, that's true. Or they've like worn out all of their appeals when they
Mm-hmm.
didn't have like enough
Yeah.
to really support.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. feel like we should probably like interview somebody from the Innocence Project and discuss this on our next podcast, on our spinoff.
Hey, yeah, literally. Margaritas and murder.
Yeah. All right. We could go on and on and on and on for this for
For
hours. So
sure.
we got to get into our stories.
Okay, yeah. Our submissions.
Yes.
Anyways, that was a fun little story, you know? It felt like it fit the theme,
It did.
right? Okay, good. Good.
Trick or three way is what I would have called that.
Trick or three-way. Hey, you ladies could be happy, okay? You just move into a house together.
A mom
No
pound.
men.
Mom pound.
A mom pound. Yeah. That's a whole topic for a whole nother episode. Makes sense.
What would your job be in a mom pound? Okay, we'll save that for next episode.
Yeah. It's a whole episode, like I said. Okay. This is actually crazy because it happened the day before Halloween. I was getting my kids ready for school, running on just coffee, trying to put the last few touches on my daughter's Halloween costume for her parade that day, when suddenly my chest got tight, like really tight. My heart started pounding so fast I could hear it in my ears. I couldn't catch my breath, my arms went numb, and I was convinced I was having a heart attack. I sat on the kitchen floor and called 911. I remember telling the dispatcher, I think I'm dying. They sent an ambulance and I'm sobbing, apologizing to my daughter about her costume, apologizing to my husband who I had to call home from work. They ran all the tests. Heart was fine, oxygen was fine, blood pressure fine. The doctor looked at me and says, "You had a panic attack." I remember feeling embarrassed, like I used all these resources that could have been helping others that were having actual emergencies at the time. I was traumatized. I didn't want to tell my family that it was just a panic attack and I'm actually completely fine. But I did, and they understood, but I still feel awful about it to this day.
Oh my God, no, because what if it weren't that? Then you could have died quietly.
I feel like this is actually really common.
What, the panic attacks?
Yeah.
Or, well, yeah, because it
And like,
feels like that. You don't know what's happening. If you've never
yeah,
experienced it before, it's a very scary thing.
that's funny because it was right before, it was like a couple days before we filmed maybe our last podcast or the podcast before, remember? And we were sitting here talking before the podcast, before starting filming. And I was like, oh my God, the other day I had a panic attack. Or it was like, right? Do you remember me
Mm-hmm.
telling you this? And I was laying in bed and I was like, what is wrong with me? And I like couldn't breathe. And I'm like, but I knew that I had had a few stressful days prior and like Aunt Flo was visiting within the next few days. So I was like, okay, I definitely like chopped it up to be a panic attack. And then even the next day, I was like at work and it was like so hard for me to breathe. And I was like, I could totally, if it were worse, see how somebody feels like they're having a heart attack.
Yeah,
It's crazy.
it's very scary.
It is scary. It's like, how do you even like get yourself to calm down to realize that you're fine?
You breathe in a brown paper bag.
Yeah.
But if you didn't know that that's what you were having, you for sure would think you were having a heart attack.
Yes. Yes.
100%.
And okay, I'll have to ask Ryan before actually editing this, but I'm sure he'll be fine with it. One day he was having like a really stressful day and he was driving. This was back when he was in sales and he was driving to a job and he called me and he was like freaking out and he's like, I think I'm like having a heart attack. I don't know. Like, and so I look at his location and I'm like, okay, there's like a hospital here, here, here. Cause he was already like 45 minutes away,
Mm-hmm.
maybe 30 minutes away. And then he's like, I'm just going to drive home. And I'm like, don't drive home. If you feel like you're having a heart attack, you should probably like, you probably shouldn't even drive to the
Yeah.
nearest hospital. You should probably call
Yeah.
911. But I stayed on the phone with him. And then he's like, no, 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 I can make it home. I can make it home. Came home and like same situation as you, like as this listener. Went to the hospital and ran all these tests, did like all these things. And yeah, I think that's what they said. Like you're just having a panic attack.
Yeah, but then there's people that have like heart attacks, right? And
Yes.
they are like, no, I think I'm okay. I'm okay.
Mm-hmm.
And like, no, you really should have gotten checked out. So I would say always err on the side of caution. You absolutely should.
Yes. Yeah.
Absolutely should.
It's like those people, which this happened to one of my friends recently, a family member of my friend. Anyways, they had had a stroke
Oh, and
flew across country, was like, "Oh, I'm just having some, like, weird numbing pain here and there." And then she's like, "No, you should probably go to the doctor."
yeah.
And he was like, "Okay, I guess I'll go get checked out." And they were like, yeah, you definitely had a stroke."
See, it's scary.
Like,
It's you should definitely get anything out of the norm checked out because you never know.
yeah, I'm totally that person, though,
Well,
where I feel like, "Oh, no, it'll be fine tomorrow. I'm not gonna stress about it."
I will totally put this story out there because I feel like it's like educational. But like when I was very young, like in my early, like 13, okay, I started getting these bad chest pains. I remember I was having a sleepover at my grandma's house one night and she lived like 45 minutes away from my family, like my mom.
Mhm.
And I woke up in the middle of the night and could not breathe. I thought I was having a heart attack. I couldn't, like, I was like it hurt. It was just, I had to go wake my grandparents up in the middle of the night. And I was, of course, scared to do that because I didn't want to panic them.
Yeah.
They start driving me to the hospital. I remember I was like, start at one point kicking the back of the seats because like I couldn't get a breath in. I was just in this full on panic. And then the moment we pulled up in front of the emergency room, it all went away. Like I just felt completely okay, like just like that. And I was like, that was the weirdest thing. And of course, I didn't want to make them check me in, get checked
Yeah.
out. You know, I'm like young. So my mom hears about this and, makes an appointment and I go to the doctor. And the doctor tells me at 13, you have anxiety. I'm going to put you on a daily anti anxiety medication.
Yeah.
And at the time, I think it was a Valium or something. I'm going to give you this so that if it ever happens again, just take it. It'll help you like calm down. Okay. Years later, right? I'm on all this medication. I wasn't taking Valium or anything, but like I had it as the emergency thing. I remember one year it happened, right? Several years later. And I take this Valium, right? And it's like, take it and then you can wait like an hour, take another one if it doesn't work, however it was. I like took
Mhm.
enough that the max I was allowed for 24 hours. I literally slept for 24 hours, woke up still feeling this panic, this anxiety. So I was like, I have to go to the doctor.
Mhm.
They did blood work and they found out that like my liver and my liver enzymes, like it was off the charts.
Uh-huh.
My doctor's like, you need to get to the emergency room now so we can figure out what's going on with you. So I go to
That's
the
crazy.
emergency room and they do like this ultrasound or something on my stomach. I was having gallbladder issues the entire time. It was not anxiety. It was gallbladder. I had to have emergency surgery to have my gallbladder removed. I had like gallstones that were in my liver and my pancreas. I could have got pancreatitis, which is really like can be deadly. I was in the
Wow.
hospital for 5 days. And so the moral of the whole story is like get things checked out and make sure that there's like
Yeah.
validity to a diagnosis because I could have figured it out so many years ago instead of putting myself on anxiety medication
You're like, "Oh,
and
it's
all
just
that. Yes.
anxiety."
And but I also could have died because here they are thinking it's anxiety when
Yeah.
really it was like
Yeah.
I was having a
I
serious
to
health issue.
I totally feel like that's just like our generation, your generation, my generation. We always are just like, "Oh, it's just
Oh
anxiety.
yeah.
Oh, I'm just like stressed."
That's the
Whatever.
problem though with like some of these labels is that we're writing off serious things
Exactly.
as just like, oh, it's so commonplace. Like anxiety actually should not be like that common. Like we should be
Mhm.
like more grounded in who we are or whatever it is that like we don't have all this anxiousness.
Yeah.
But now it's just like, I don't know. You think about how Americans live versus other places in the world, like Europe, they have like 5 weeks mandatory vacation.
Yeah.
Here it's like you're lucky if you get a week of paid vacation. Like we just want to grind, grind, grind.
Oh,
We're
yeah.
forced to live that. And I think it brings on a lot of these health issues.
Yeah. I would say specifically, not specifically, but also like in moms,
Oh, yeah.
because I think about other countries that give moms like a year, however long,
Oh,
to like bond with your baby. I think I was back to work after Duncan at like 7 weeks,
yeah. But
maybe
that's not
8,
like normal. You should be,
which is crazy. So crazy because of the you feel forced to. And
yeah.
then even if your work or if you get longer, it's not your full pay or whatever. Then they're like, keep having babies. Here's some taxes,
Yeah,
benefits.
you get a tax write off.
Yeah.
Go back to work, make that money, but we'll give you a little, we'll
Yeah.
incentivize you.
Yeah. Good job.
No, that's
High
bullshit.
five.
We could have a whole episode on that though.
Oh, for sure. We're just finding things to have episodes about in this.
But I absolutely do not think you should feel bad or ashamed or embarrassed or anything. Absolutely get something checked out.
Yeah, never feel embarrassed about something like that. And your health is first. So that is also another thing is like putting yourself first, your health first, and your kid's costume is gonna look great whether you fixed it or not.
Yeah.
So, and guess what? They're probably young enough they don't even realize we put too much pressure on ourselves, right? Alrighty. So, this is one of those stories that still makes my stomach turn when I think about it. A couple years ago, I went through a really rough time. My husband had been cheating on me, and I was completely blindsided. I was embarrassed, heartbroken, and honestly ashamed. The only person I felt safe enough to tell was my best friend. We'd been friends for over 10 years. She was the person who knew everything about me. I poured my heart out to her. She told me she'd be there for me no matter what. Fast forward a week, I start getting texts from people I barely talk to. Things like, "Hey, I heard what happened. Are you okay?" Turns out my best friend had told everyone in our mom group what happened. I confronted her and she said, "I was just venting. It's not like I meant to gossip."
What do you have to vent about? But go
Yeah.
ahead.
hmm That sentence, "it's not like I meant to gossip," is what ended our friendship. Because once someone weaponizes your pain for their own entertainment, there's no coming back from that. I realized she didn't want to comfort me, she wanted a story to tell. And honestly, that betrayal from her was more traumatizing than the cheating.
Well, I can speak to this story. Can we say it again for the people in the back? Like, my pain, my trauma is not your entertainment.
Yes.
Like,
Yes.
1000%.
Yep.
Yeah, no, that's bullshit. And absolutely, I would have dropped her like a bad fucking habit.
Yeah, not
And I
cool.
would hope that all the moms see and hear this and are just like, I would never trust that person again.
That's like girl code
Yeah.
101. Especially if it's your best friend. I could not imagine telling my best friend like something. Like I tell my best friends everything. I will overshare. I will cry to them. And like I never, besides maybe to their husbands, I don't know. But like I would never ever like think that they would ever tell anybody.
Yeah.
Right? About like things that are really painful to me that I don't tell everybody. Right? Like, I don't know.
No, I
You just
agree.
don't do it. You just don't do it.
Yeah, you guard those things. I mean, yeah. Yeah. I
Like your trauma is not somebody else's trauma. Like, say Nicole told me something.
mean, I tell you everything,
Yeah,
so you already know.
exactly. Yes, exactly. But then, like, say those things are going on in your life, and then I go and, like, not even just one mom, not even one
Yeah.
friend of mine, but a whole group
Yeah. Like, it would
of
be
something that you're not
one.
willing to
Yeah.
share already to yourself to everybody,
Like, it would
right?
okay, and so say, like, all of these friends, like, realize something's happening with this person, and let's ask her best friend, like, "Hey, is everything okay?"
hmm
If you felt like you wanted to support your friend, like, you wanted them to know that there's people that love them, care them, that you could say, "You know what? She is going through some stuff right now, and I think it would be really beneficial for her to just know that she has community around her. So feel free to just like reach out, check in, and just say, hey, like, seems like you have a lot going on. I'm here if you need to talk."
Yeah.
Like, that would be the best thing because you're still rallying people to support this person, but you're not airing their dirty laundry because I'm a firm believer, like, once my mama knows something, like, you can never undo what you did. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? So it's like the same thing. Once your friends know, they'll never look at her husband again because it's up to her if she wants to continue in that marriage relationship, whatever that
Yeah.
scenario is.
Yeah.
Those friends might lose respect for her because of what they feel like they would do in that situation. You know,
Exactly.
it's not,
For sure.
what a bitch.
Yeah. That's not a best friend.
If
Nope.
I know who that person is, please tell me who it is so that I know never to trust them with a secret.
Right. Because I also feel like I am that person where like if something's going on in my life, it is really hard for me to like keep it a secret from anybody. I mean,
Yeah.
not anybody, but anybody that's like close to me, right? Like I'm an oversharer just naturally. But also don't overshare my own oversharing, okay? I want to be able to be there in that mom group and be able to see all their faces when I tell them for the first time my husband's a scumbag that cheated on me.
Yeah, because you want that, like,
Yeah.
you don't want them to
Make
be
me
like,
feel better in the
yes. Don't
moment.
just be like, oh, this is like the 10th time we've heard about this. We've already gossiped about it, gave our conspiracies, figured out who it's with. Like, we've already done all the dirty work. And yeah,
Exactly.
no,
Yeah.
yeah, that is
Totally.
traumatic. Sometimes it's like the collateral trauma that is more meaningful than the initial trauma.
Exactly.
I've experienced that in my own life recently when my world was falling apart. And I thought, okay. I mean, it wasn't falling apart. I was kind of tearing it down because I wanted a new life.
Well,
But I mean, I was going through things.
hmm
Yes, I made choices to go through those things, but like the falling out, the realization of people that were there and weren't there,
yeah.
that almost was more like fucked up
Yeah.
than anything else.
And I do have to say that it is really sad when there's something so bad going on in your life that that's when you realize who your real friends are and
Yeah.
who aren't there like to actually support
Yeah,
you.
it's eye-opening and it's sad, but it's also a blessing. Like I can say like even if I were to there's no repairing those relationships.
Yeah.
But even if it was like we could get to a point where we could be cordial, I will never trust that person
Yeah.
again with any type of secret vulnerability, nothing.
Mhm.
Because once somebody weaponizes something against you, that's
Yeah.
done. And like loyalty is one of the most important things to me.
Yeah. Yeah.
What's your sign? Are you a Leo?
Yeah.
Okay.
Why?
I'm just curious because I'm a Scorpio and I feel like if you look up, like, what does my star sign mean or my astrological sign? If you read everything about a Scorpio, I'm like, yep, that is me to a T. The good, the bad, the ugly, that is me. Loyalty is one of those things.
Oh. Okay, I was just talking about this weirdly with a member at the country club and he's like, "What's your sign?" And he was like talking about all this stuff and then I don't know why this man, he's like an older gentleman too. Not older, but parents' age. And he was like talking about all of these signs and he's like, "Oh yeah, like a Leo is this, this, and this." And he's like, "Oh yeah, I could see those qualities in you and all these things." And I'm like, "What the heck?" But I realized that I don't know anything about any of that. And we have talked about
Yes.
finding somebody
Yes.
that like knows way too much about that kind of stuff and like having
Yeah.
them on because I would be so interested.
Oh
Like,
my
I don't
gosh.
know if I'm like a firm believer in like the star signs and all of that.
Oh my God, I am.
See, exactly. Opposites
Yeah.
attract,
Okay.
Nicole.
So
I'm
we
not,
need,
but you
okay.
are.
Okay.
So, but I'm interested in it. It's interesting to me. Do I believe in it all or like, oh, this star is doing this on this day and that's why this is happening? Mercury's in retrograde. I feel like you say that sometimes.
Yes, that is a real thing. Yes, it is.
So,
Hold on. I'm going to look up Leo and Scorpio compatibility in friendship. And let me just see what the little brief, what is
yeah.
the,
What does the little synopsis say at the top?
yes. Let me see what it says. I want both women. Because, it does make a difference.
Oh, like relationships and then
Yes.
friendships?
Yes. Oh my God. I accidentally hit the thing and like it gives you like a new, what's the word, prompt? Leo man obsessed with Scorpio. That's not what I was trying to look up. All right. You know what? I'm going to save this for
Ooh, now
for the
I want to
episode.
know. So look it up.
Okay.
I'm a Leo. I'm a lion. I
Leo
honestly don't even
woman
know.
and Scorpio woman friendship. Let's just see.
See, this is what we're here for. Wait, how did we even
Oh
get here?
my God. A Leo woman and a Scorpio woman can forge an exceptionally strong, supportive, and loyal friendship built on mutual admiration and shared intensity, with the Leo bringing warmth and enthusiasm, and the Scorpio offering deep emotional insight and unwavering loyalty. Hold on. However, differences can arise due to their contrasting natures. Leo's desire for the spotlight versus Scorpio's reserved intensity. Hello, this is why Kelly is the host. I'm the co-host. Okay.
Okay, because More time.
Yes, which can lead to conflict, but with maturity and a willingness to be open and accepting, they can overcome these challenges and form a lasting, rewarding bond. Well, that's why we're
Yeah.
sisters-in-laws.
That's so funny. We
Aw.
could have so much conflict if we really wanted to, but we
Yeah, we
don't.
could. Look at their bond is built on respect as they recognize and value each other's strengths, leading to a strong and stable foundation.
Let's see.
Supportive bond, they can become fiercely loyal friends who stand by each other through challenges, celebrating wins, and providing comfort during losses. Oh my gosh, Kelly, see, we're soul
We
sisters.
are. It's the whole reason why I married
Okay, so I
Ryan.
would love to get like somebody that's really big into astrology to come and do like
Yes.
our star charts, like the time you were born, where you were, all of that, and it like
I think that
tells.
would be so fun.
Yes. Okay, so if you know somebody that wants to come on and do it,
Yeah. If you're
let's.
really into that, come
Yeah.
on. No, but for real. That's a good one.
Mm-hmm.
All right. We're going back into Halloween.
Right.
Okay. So when I was about 10, my mom made me go trick or treating with my little brother, which already felt like a personal insult. We go to this house with like 5 different candy bowls lined up on the porch. There's a sign that says, take only one. But my brother, being the greedy little goblin he is, takes a whole handful. Suddenly, more porch lights turn on, and this old lady appears out of nowhere. She yells, I saw that, and started running towards us with a broom. I panicked and dropped my entire candy bag trying to save my brother. We sprinted home crying, and my mom thought we were being dramatic, which looking back, we probably were, and she probably wasn't even really chasing us. But the next year, the same lady had a new sign that said, security cameras installed, no thieves.
Can I just say I hate when people leave like a bowl out because they don't want to answer the doors. Like that's
Yes.
part of the fun of it,
Mm-hmm.
of trick or treating is like,
Yes.
and if you don't want people ringing your doorbell, upsetting your animals, whatever it is, then go put the table out on your driveway. Like that's super fun too.
And sit on the table. Oh, we have a
Yes.
lot of people that do that in my neighborhood.
Yes. I think
Yes.
that's so fun. Actually, it is kind of weird to have kids go up to people's doors and knock. Like you don't know what's on the other side of that door, you
But
know?
that's why you should be going with your kids anyways. I'm assuming
Yes,
this is
but
like back
true.
when we were kids, like I was trick or treating probably by myself around 10,
No,
11.
you were
With
not.
friends,
Bullshit, Kelly.
with like a group of friends, yes.
I still don't let my son go by him.
Back when we were kids, I feel like it was more acceptable. Think about like the
Oh.
streets. I feel like it looked like Halloween Town where all the kids are freaking out, you know?
Yeah. Okay. I lied. Like last year, my son had all of his friends. Actually, it was our very first night in our own home.
Oh, yeah, I
Yeah.
remember this.
Yeah. And we
Yeah.
came here
Uh-huh.
and then we went back to my house and then we went through that neighborhood.
But they trick or treated by
Yes.
themselves here.
Yes. But there was like four of them. Okay. So now I feel like maybe I am at that place. Sometimes I have to think about it. Yes. I'm at that place. He could do that.
Yeah.
But I had my daughter last year too. And so he does like doing stuff like that with her, like participating in that. So that's probably why he did want to hang out with me a little bit so he could do that kind
Yeah.
of sweet stuff with her.
Yeah.
But yeah, but I don't know if I would let him just go off like, bye mom. Like I'd be like, okay, I'll walk behind
In the
you. Like
neighborhood, though.
I'll pour myself a cocktail and have a girlfriend with me and we'll just walk around.
Yeah. I also want to circle back to her having just the candy bowls on the porch. I'm sorry, but if you're going to be those people, nothing against you because, like, sometimes I get it because maybe we're out with our kids and
Yeah.
I still want to participate and give kids candy for the hour that I'm going to be out trick or treating with my kids. But I'm also not going to come back, see that my bowl is empty, and be so upset that one kid probably took all that candy because that you have to expect that.
Yeah. But you know what we could do nowadays is be like, when you put up, just take one, be like, otherwise you'll be dragged through the mud on social media because I'm going to post you. You know, kids
Yeah.
have that kind of stuff to.
Or the Ring cameras now, when
Yeah.
they see motion, you can like put a personal message.
Oh,
So every time somebody comes up, I could be like, I can see you taking
or
more than one.
yeah.
Even though it's just like
Do
the
you
recording of my voice.
do you see those videos where a kid goes up and there's like no candy in the bowl? So they take out of their own and
Yes.
they put it in. That is the sweetest
That is
thing.
also parent goals. I hope that
Yes.
my kid becomes that kid. We'll see. But
No, he will
that is
be
really
'cause
sweet.
yeah,
That
he's
is
a good
really
share.
sweet.
But then it's like when the parents are up there and they see the take one and they're like dumping the bowl
I
into their.
know.
I'm like, There is
I
enough candy.
yes.
How much Halloween candy do you throw away, like, at the end of the month?
Yeah.
Back in March,
And
how much
hey,
Halloween
and
we
that's
just ate candy here at your house. Watched a few weeks ago during
no, that was
Survivor.
Easter candy.
I feel like there was some Halloween candy in
Oh,
there, but desperate times call for desperate measures. But
just looking for a snack.
yes, nobody eats that much candy.
Yeah. Yeah. But I don't know. Just parents in general. I'm like, dude, first of all, Halloween candy is expensive. Have you gone to the store like I refuse to buy it until like a few days before because I already know that we're gonna open it and we're all gonna eat it and then I'm gonna have to buy more. So I'm like, no, 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 I'm not buying it yet. But it's expensive. And it's like for the parents that are so greedy though. I'm
You know
like,
what I would do? I'd go
dude,
to like the dollar
your
store.
baby that is like 2 months old does not need the candy.
Yeah,
Okay. Let it be for your 3-year old. Let them collect the candy. Am I
I'd say
just
go to
like
the
being
dollar.
a bitch
No,
by
you're not.
saying that?
No, I'd say go to the dollar store and get the sheets of stickers because kids love freaking stickers. They get enough candy. That's fun too. Isla would go
No.
crazy over
Yeah.
and glow sticks.
Yeah, but then you get like the 10-year-olds and they're like, I don't want fucking
I'd be
stickers.
like, cool, you're too old to go trick or treating then.
No, they aren't. I also knock those people that are like, oh, there was like 15-year
Yeah,
olds at my door. Cool, let them be kids
yeah,
for as long as they want.
yeah.
Okay,
It's
come
better than
on.
the alternative, them going to a party and drinking or doing whatever.
Yes. Exactly. I never get upset at older kids. But I will be like, "Where's your costume?" if they're not wearing anything. I'm like, "Okay, now you're just looking for candy,
Yeah.
kid."
But even so, it's like better they do that than look for something else.
Yeah. All right. Last one. This one's a little heavy,
Uh-oh.
but here we go. I feel weird sharing this on a platform, but I know it's a wild one. When I was 18, I was dating someone with a wild substance abuse issue that was very normalized by fitting into party culture. His favorite combo was Xanax and drinking, which, if you know, creates the opportunity for ruthless and soulless behavior. Anyways, I had no idea at the time that's what was happening. I was at his house and he was belligerent and being incredibly mean for no reason. Confused and fed up, I started packing my things to leave. He got irate at my exit and tried blocking me from leaving. His mom, confused, got involved trying to calm him down to let me leave, and he ended up punching a mirror. Using this as my window to leave, I raced outside and got into my car to go. Before I could even put the car in drive, he jumped on the hood of my car, damaging it, and smeared his bloody hand all over my windshield so I wouldn't and couldn't leave. I rolled my window down to yell at him to get off my car, and he then shoved his bloody hand into my car, trying to rip my keys out of the ignition. I was able to use this as my opportunity to drive away, but I now was covered in his blood and had it all over my windshield. I called one of his friends, and thankfully they lived close by and helped me clean up and rinse off my car. To note, he wasn't badly injured and he didn't even remember any of this the next day, but I will never forget it.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Red flag, red flag,
That's beyond
red
red
flag.
flag. That is like,
Yeah, yeah. I would have never saw that man again in my life.
and his poor mom, like, that's what I think about. Her mom's like, his mom's walking into this, like,
Yeah,
why is
what's
he so
going
upset?
on?
What's happening? She probably doesn't know that there's like substances involved.
Uh-huh. You're trying to run out the door and she's like, "What's going on,
Yeah, but
honey?"
like, never, life advice, never roll down the window.
No,
Like, I would have just sat in my car because you're safe, right? You're in your little, there's no way he's punching out a
windshield.
windshield. And if he's going to run to the garage to get something to break it, that's your time to go. You
Mhm.
got some windshield wipers,
I
you
don't
just
even care if I could
leave.
hardly see out the window. I'm leaving.
Yeah.
Bye.
Could you imagine, like, maybe it wasn't a mirror he was hitting? It could have been something else, like you. Like,
Yeah,
good thing you got out of there.
for sure. That is like, yeah, yeah, exactly. You never know. Thank goodness it wasn't her.
Yeah.
But also, that's just like insane to think about. Like, what a scary situation to be in.
Yeah. scary and like sad because like when you're with somebody, like a friend, whoever that's like has a substance abuse issue,
Yeah.
and you know that that's not like really them, it's like the substance that makes them act this way. It's hard because it's like you kind of can separate like who this person is versus who
Mhm.
they are. That and
That's
it
true.
makes it harder though to like leave that situation because you don't believe they're that one. You believe that they're the other version, and it's kind of like you can make excuses along the way. But I hope when something that crazy and traumatic happens, it's just like, okay, you know what? It's not worth me trying to convince them that that's not who they are. That they're this person.
Yeah,
So
I agree with that. But also, it's like it has to probably be a little bit hard because you do feel like you kind of want to be there for that person if it is like a problem, you know? But maybe from afar,
yeah.
from a text message
But I
or
just
a
want to
phone call.
I wanna know, what did the neighbors think? Could you imagine? That's like something out of a scary movie.
It
You
literally is. He's like smearing his blood so you
Yeah, they're
can't
like, "Is
see
he
out the
a
windshield.
zombie or what?" I don't wanna make light of it, but I kinda just wanna laugh at, like, if you were, across the street, could you imagine seeing that from, like, one of your neighbors?
I see some crazy shit from some of my neighbors.
I'm j
Okay, let me just tell you. Okay, these neighbors for sure don't listen to the podcast. And my neighbors that, if you do listen, you know exactly who I'm talking about. These crazy people. And the other day, it was midday. It was like 2:45 in the afternoon. And I'm like loading the kids. I'm going to take them to the park, right? And like they're screaming at each other, screaming at each
adults
other,
are?
adults.
Mhm.
And then he's like trying to back out of the driveway. Live in like like a cutesy neighborhood, right? Like these don't happen, but you know, there's always those neighbors. And then he's like trying to pull out of the driveway and she's throwing rocks at his windshield.
Oh my gosh.
Rocks. And I could hear it like smashing the windshield. I'm like,
Are they husband and wife?
I have no idea. I don't know
But
anything
they, like,
about them.
live
I
together?
stay away, but yes.
You know what's crazy about that is, like, you're kinda damaging your own, like, property too, because
Yeah, exactly.
like, it's gonna get paid for somehow to get fixed.
Yeah.
It's either your pocket, his pocket, or joint pocket, right? Like,
Yeah. And
it's gonna affect everybody.
I'm like across the street holding my 2-year-old like waving. No, I'm just kidding. I did not wave. I got him in the car very quickly. But I'm like,
"Girl, do you need help
what
over there?"
the hell? Like, ma'am, you do know it's like 3 p.m.
Hey, you know what? Anger doesn't have a
And I'm
time.
almost positive they were setting up like their Halloween
Oh my god, I feel like I know which neighbor this is now.
to know which one it is. It's the only one. I think they had like boxes of stuff in front of their lawn, like they were like happily decorating, and then he didn't put it where she
I
wanted
was
it.
that what started the fight? Probably. She thought it needs to go 2 more inches that way.
And he's like, F you. And
Yeah,
then she's like, ew.
that's how it all
Oh shit. Sorry.
starts.
So funny. That is really funny. But
Okay,
yeah.
so I have a like a trigger trauma. I mean, I'm sure we've all seen it, but who is it? Like, I'm not going to say his name, but there's like a late night host that has gotten people to like prank their kids and be like,
Oh
the
yeah.
day after Halloween, be like,
Oh yeah. I
I
ate all
ate
your
all your
candy.
candy.
Yes.
And like some kids are pissed
Hmm.
off. And then some kids are like, it's okay, mommy.
Yeah.
Like, could you? I mean, I would be
You did it
pissed.
or no?
No, I
Oh.
could never do that.
Okay, this is coming from the same lady that said, I would hire this scary clown to be under my kid's bed at night.
Oh, I showed Kelly the trailer to it.
Yeah, that
We
looked
have to
great.
watch it. But yeah, people are hiring their kids. Doesn't it look creepy how he
Okay,
comes
yes.
out from underneath the
Okay,
trundle
yes.
bed?
Yes. But I'm saying you're really funny that you would do that. But then I'm like, oh, would you trick your kids to think that you ate all their Halloween candy? No, I would never do
Okay,
that.
I would probably
You
do it as like,
psychopath. I would be the other way around. Yeah, I'm going to trick them that I ate all their Halloween candy, but I would never hire a scary clown.
because it wouldn't work on my son, and I definitely wouldn't do it to my daughter because she's so sweet. I wouldn't want to upset her that way. Maybe I'll try it this year. I'll tell her I ate all her candy. Let's see what she says.
I'm going to try it now. I want to.
How pissed do you think your son would be, your older one?
I feel like if Ryan were to tell him, he would probably be kind of pissed. And then if I told him, he'd be like, it's okay.
Yeah. I mean, you guys don't let him have a lot of candy anyway, so it could go either way. He
Yeah.
could just be like, because I don't really know the difference. Or he could be like, that was my one time of the year I get all this candy I could eat, and now it's gone.
It's so funny because every time we get him candy, like we went to San Diego not that long ago, we went to a candy store, got a bag of candy for him. Or like Easter, as we still have his Easter basket full of candy. And he's like super into it for a few days. Like, can I have a piece of candy? I'm like, yeah, choose whatever you want. And then like afterwards, I put it like in the cupboard where you can't see it, and he just forgets about it.
Yeah. Out of sight, out of mind.
Unlike you, you're like, yes, here you go.
No, I have to check it first. And then I have to take the parent tax. I always take all the almond joys. Those are my favorite.
Oh, 1,000 grand. Wait, is it 1,000 grand? 100 grand.
No, and milk duds. Kelly likes milk duds.
100 grands. 100 grands are so good. It's an underrated candy for sure.
We should do a post Halloween pod, and then we'll just rate candies.
Yeah, we'll eat all of my kids' Halloween candy right here. Milk duds are also
goodness.
good.
If you say so.
You know?
And Kelly also likes like M&Ms.
Okay, I put it on a caramel apple today. That's different. Just
No,
straight M&Ms?
Kelly and I do like with our moms, we go to see plays like
Oh,
6
yeah.
or 7 times a year. Okay. And we always go to like the little box or the little concession and we order like a snack.
You're talking about peanut M&Ms. That's my
Okay.
mom's candy, not mine.
Cheryl,
Sorry.
you got to step it up, girlfriend.
But you know what I'll always get, which I feel like you probably also judge? Red vines.
Yeah. You and my mom should sit together then.
So good.
I'll just sit there with my wine. No, I take like a sour punch straw and then I use it as my straw for my wine.
Last time we went to a play, they like confiscated. Okay, first of all, what theater
Don't say which one.
sells us White Claws, but then says you can't take them to your seat. You have to finish them before. Intermission. You got like 10 minutes, biatch.
The only one that lets us take concessions in is that other one.
Yeah, in the next town over.
Yes.
But I was like, no. So we all brought our White Claws in, and then a guy came up. I'm like, the fucking fun police came up, and he's like, I need all your White Claws. I'm like, we bought them from you. Are you kidding me? It's not like we snuck these in. But he took all of yours, except mine was like hidden, so I kept mine.
But I had already drank mine. But you want to know what the kicker of all of it was? Is we were watching Rent. Like, talk about like just the craziest show to be taking somebody's drinks from. Like,
excuse me, I'm gonna have to take those. We bought them from you for like $10 each. No.
Yeah. You literally sold them to us as you were packing it all up before the show started.
Okay, I understand.
How much time are we allowed to have?
If this is like the movie theater where I box up a whole thing of wine and I'm sneaking it in and you're gonna take it from me, understandable. But if I buy it from you, I should be able to leisurely drink it wherever I want.
They don't want building. They don't want cans cracking in the middle of like a
yeah.
Right. Well,
anyways, cheers to all of our trauma that we all share. We all got it.
Trick or treat.
Trick or trauma. Cheers.